Hello, everybody. Josh here, and welcome back to another episode of Predict the Bell, where we will be going over Wrestlepalooza that is taking place this Saturday on September 20th, 2025. Like I just mentioned, I am your host, Josh. As always, joining me is Ruan Wrestling.
Hey guys.
We'll be going over all the matches, breaking down our thoughts, what we like, what we don't like, all that good stuff, the usual. If you're new here, welcome to the channel. And if you're returning, you know the drill, you know how we do it. We're gonna break down everything. I'm probably gonna complain about some things. Um, Honestly, this card it's only 5 matches, but if I'm being like not super critical, this isn't a bad card.
Yeah.
It's not a terrible card. And like it's fairly watchable. There's a lot of big names on the card. Um, yeah, so I don't think it'll be a terrible show. There's a lot of matches on here that I think can actually be pretty good matches. Like obviously we're gonna get into everything, but like Io Sky and Stephanie Vaquer might be a pretty good match. Um, and yeah, we're gonna get through everything. I'm gonna break down my thoughts and everything. Um, I'll do the self promo and stuff in a little bit. But Rue, what do you think about Wrestlepalooza, like the card?
I totally agree with what you just said, though. I was chuckling to myself when we're saying, "Oh, it's actually for once looks like quite a good card," and I'm like, "Yeah, not." There's a reason for that, as we you and me discussed off the air beforehand,
Yeah,
of why specifically this random ass card in the middle of September that came out of nowhere has WrestleMania worthy matches on it.
yeah. So for those that don't know, and I don't know how you wouldn't know because WWE is marketed everywhere, but this is the first PLE on ESPN. So for me and Rue and Stu, it doesn't really matter because we're international, so we get it on Netflix. However, I feel bad for all my friends in the States that have to pay an extra $30 to even watch this pay-per-view. Um, yeah, that sucks. That really does. And like, I'm not just saying like it sucks. I'm like, yeah, I watch it on Netflix. I'd be really pissed if I was living in the States right now and I had to pay that much just to watch a pay-per-view for WWE or a premium live event. Um, but like always, I want to know what you guys have to say and what you guys think. You can let me know in the comment section below. Make sure you ring the notification bell, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Go check out the Discord server for Kayfabe Central. I have not been active in the Discord server recently. So if new people have joined and I didn't see, I apologize. I'm going to keep an eye on the Discord server a little more in the time to come. So make sure you go check that out. Go check out the Kayfabe Central Ko-Fi page as well. It's $5 minimum to subscribe to the exclusive wrestling content tier. So if you are able to, that would be greatly appreciated. And yeah, I guess I have another thing to promote. Make sure you guys come in and join the TikTok live almost every day. I don't do the watch alongs for TNA. Mainly because TNA is pre-recorded and I don't want people coming into the chat just typing in spoilers. Be like, oh yeah, I Cedric Alexander won. I was at this event. Like it just takes away the fun. Um, so yeah, I don't do watch alongs for TNA, but every other show throughout the week I do watch alongs for. I'm kind of dreading doing the watch along for Dynamite tonight though because it's 3 hours. Um, and if you know me, you know that, and if you listen to the podcast long enough, and I'm sure Ruin Stu knows this, I am lazy as hell. So sitting there for 3 hours is just like, oh, great. And it's like, oh man, I'm sure it's gonna be good wrestling because they have like some random matches announced for this card on Dynamite, but still, man, 3 hours. Um, but yeah, let's get straight into the predictions. I don't even know what we should start with. Let's just start from let's start at the bottom of the list this time. What's supposed to be the main event, which is John Cena and Brock Lesnar. Now, this match has had no build whatsoever. We haven't had a reason for Brock Lesnar coming back and targeting Cena. It's they've literally just done their own things on this weekly show besides Brock Lesnar attacking Cena. That's literally all it's been. The only words that Brock Lesnar have spoken were to R-Truth and challenging Cena to a match at Wrestlepalooza. So there's been nothing behind this. And I guess this is just WWE's very lazy way of just saying, yeah, we're going to do Cena and Brock again. And we're not going to put anything behind it because it's Cena and Brock. Why do we need to build it? Um, I don't, I'm someone who like needs a build for a storyline. I don't care if it's, Randy Orton versus John Cena. There still needs to be something, at least a segment. I would have enjoyed seeing a segment between them two, maybe. Um, but yeah, what do you think of the build and everything surrounding this match?
Yeah, like straight away from what you just said there, I totally agree. Like there are cases of that some matches, yes, can be big enough that they don't necessarily need a build. However, I don't fully agree with that sentiment. I agree that, if you were to give me um off the top of my head, like I remember when they did out of the blue because of a sickness, they randomly did Finn Balor versus AJ Styles back when Balor was actually relevant, which I hurts my soul to say.
Yeah.
Um, when they did that, I think something like that was just like, holy shit, it's Finn Balor versus AJ Styles. And if you were to give me that over, Balor versus who's someone that we don't mind roasting, um, Brutus Creed. There we go. You gave me that. I'm like, all right, okay, that's not exactly most exciting. But no matter what, there needs to be a story behind that because I'm the same as you. For me to care, I know these two guys are great, and you use a good example: Randy Orton versus John Cena. I still want a reason to cheer for one and boo for the other. Doesn't matter who it is. Sometimes, um, but as much as sometimes, yeah, it's fun just to see two amazing wrestlers go at it. I want to have a reason to want to watch. So yeah, I agree. This has been built horribly. I have no idea what that promo segment on SmackDown was about. It feels like Brock completely forgot his lines and what he was meant to do. um, if he even had them, because
Yeah, I
all
was
he
about to
kept
say
saying,
if he even had a script, he's
yeah,
like, the fuck a script.
exactly. I think he just kept saying like, so who are you? Who are you? So who? And it's just like, what is happening here? You could even Truth was like, I think fumbling over his because I think Brock was throwing him off because he was like, what's going on? So yeah,
Yeah.
this has had no build at all. And I'm like you. I know you share kind of similar thoughts on this. That I'm not that interested in the match itself. I'm not one of these people who super loves Brock Lesnar and never really have. I agree that he's a spectacle and it's something is a major showcase match to get, particularly beforehand at Mania. But I was never that invested or excited to see his matches. I think the most excited I've been seeing a Brock Lesnar match was when he got squashed by Goldberg because that was like holy shit.
um yeah, so I'm going to be rooting for Cena in this match. Um However, I don't think that he's going to win. I think that they're going to give this win to Brock Lesnar. I just have a very strong feeling that's the route they're going to take. I can see this retirement tour for Cena, just him being on his back consistently. Um, the reason I'm rooting for Cena though is because, again, if you've listened to the podcast before, you know exactly how I feel about Brock Lesnar being back. I don't want to see someone with his reputation at the moment get any attention. Um, so if Cena wins, perfect. Cena will probably eat a shit ton of German suplexes, take a huge beating, and then do his 5 moves of doom, come back and hit the AA, and win the match. Or it could be what I think is going to happen: that Brock dominates most of the match, Cena gets a little bit of hope, but then Brock just shuts him down and wins. Um, I hope that it doesn't result in a rematch because Cena has what 6 dates left,
Something like that.
and the rest are just Monday Night Raw. And I think he's got Crown Jewel, he's got Survivor Series, and then the December 13th show, which I believe is a Saturday night's main event. Um, so I hope that they don't go the rematch route. It depends on what they have planned for Lesnar. It's very possible that Lesnar, win or lose, he just disappears after and then comes back at the Rumble. I can see that being the case. Um, but I just have a really strong feeling that they're gonna say, you know what, we're gonna have Brock Lesnar win this match.
And that's not like when it comes to predictions, that's not a bad way to look at it because they could absolutely go that way because once again it's Brock Lesnar. It's kind of similar when we take the Goldberg approach of just he probably shouldn't win this match, but he might because it's Goldberg and it's WWE and it's a similar vein with Lesnar here. Um, but I agree. I'm rooting for Cena 100%. But the difference being, I am going to take Cena. I think a lot of it comes down to what you've just mentioned and what their plans are for Brock going forward. Firstly, I don't. It's hard to predict and really see that, so I don't know. Another reason, just simply because WWE likes numbers and likes boasting about stats. If Cena beats Lesnar, that will be his 100th career pay per view slash PLE win, which I can just see WWE wanting to put on the
Wow.
screen.
Yeah.
Oh, because when it was 99 against Paul. I think the other part of this that's completely slipped my mind. I was going to say I've completely forgotten about it. Oh yeah, it was the fact. Yeah, I'm going for Cena because most of the time as well, Lesnar has beat Cena. Look back to the SummerSlam match. Apart from that Extreme Rules in 2012, ironically, when Brock actually probably should have won, but
Yeah.
he didn't. So I'm taking I'm taking Cena. That's the difference. The thing though that I'm more intrigued about uh, is what could potentially happen after the match. And I say could, it kind of has to happen either after or during the match. And that's to set up John Cena's match at Crown Jewel in Australia. Because, like you mentioned, Cena's only got about 6 dates left. And none of there's a couple of Monday Night Raws, but none of them are in between now and Crown Jewel. And if Cena's been advertised for the show, he obviously is surely going to have a match at the show. They've got no time to set anything up unless they're about to set up a feud that doesn't even involve John Cena. It just involves a match, which is utter bullshit if they do that. But I also wouldn't put it past them. So in saying that, someone surely after it has to attack Cena. I know that kind of is the route that all his matches seem to be going at the minute, like at SummerSlam with Brock, ironically.
Yeah.
But some surely someone has to come out. I don't know who, well, who it could be at all. I was trying to think and rack my brain of the list of opponents that who could potentially be. I don't know, but I'm more intrigued to see what happens after the match than for the actual match itself.
Yeah, I 100% agree. And that's a point that I was gonna bring up too. Like you mentioned, he doesn't have any dates between WrestlePalooza and Crown Jewel, from what we know at least, unless they throw in a couple more in there.
Yeah,
Um, which is why I was thinking that they might go with a rematch with Brock.
yeah, I hope.
Um, because how are they going to build that if it's somebody else and Cena doesn't have any dates left? Um, but I 100% agree. If it's not Brock in a rematch, somebody will attack Cena after, win or loss. Um, and you brought up SummerSlam. I can see it going exactly how SummerSlam went. Cena loses. He's, thanking the crowd or whatever. And somebody comes out, attacks him.
Yeah, I think so. As I said, I have no idea who it could be. Because everyone, unless they completely just 180 on other storylines, but everyone we can think of, he's either already faced the likes of Punk and all that, or they are ingrained quite deeply in other feuds. So the likes of AJ Styles is annoyingly feuding with El Grande Americano, which is ridiculous. So it would seem weird. Same for Seth Rollins. He's also in the feud with Buddy Punk and AJ on that night. So I don't know who it could be. Maybe a returning Gunther, but I was kind of maybe holding on to Gunther being the retirement match. So I don't think they would want to do that unless I'm completely wrong, obviously, which is a high possibility. But apart from him, I don't know who else it could possibly be.
Yeah, I agree with you. I still think that Gunther is going to be the retirement match for Cena.
Yep.
Um, and the way I could see this playing out is Gunther's the retirement match for Cena. Gunther obviously beats Cena. And then we somehow set up at the Rumble Gunther versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania.
Yeah, yep, totally
Um,
agree.
that's definitely a possible route that they could take. Yeah, I'm with you though. I don't know who could attack Cena. It would be funny if it was somebody like Grayson Waller. Do you know do you know how
Oh,
pissed the crowd would be since this is going
I
on
didn't.
last?
I
Do
didn't
you
even
know
think
how
about
pissed
that.
the crowd would be if this ended with Grayson Waller attacking Cena?
I honestly didn't even think about that. Waller, Cena, Australia. Sure, let's do it.
Yeah. Um
Oh
Very well
no.
could. Oh my goodness. Now that's really a possibility.
You've like thought about it. You're going, oh wait, shit, this could actually
Yeah.
happen.
I threw that there. I was as a joke. I was like, wait, that might actually happen. Um, yeah, so there's some people out there that maybe they have something in mind. I'd hope they have something in mind. Um, I wouldn't mind an Ethan Page John Cena match.
Yeah, yeah, actually, yeah, definitely.
But I don't think that they're gonna do that since they seem to be setting up something with Ethan Page and Dr. Wagner Jr.
Yep.
Um, I hope that's not another title for title match. I am so tired of these title for title matches.
Oh, yes, like
And we have another one next week that everyone's excited for on NXT, but it's probably just going to end into disqualification, and we're going to get a triple threat at No Mercy instead.
yep.
So, nothing to be excited about, guys. Sorry. Um, Speaking of nothing to be excited about, in terms of a storyline, we have the Women's World Championship match.
Uh,
Um, Io Sky versus Stephanie Vaquer for the vacant Women's World Championship. Now, obviously, the match itself is probably going to be match of the night. It's probably going to be a fantastic match um if they have enough time. I think you brought that up as well in your TikTok.
yep.
Um, this should be probably a really good match. However, I hate how they handle this world title.
Yep.
It's been over a month. We should have a women's world championship already. Why couldn't you just do this at Clash in Paris? Why did we have to waste an entire month to get to this? And I might disappoint some people here, but I don't think Stephanie Vaquer is winning the title here. I think it's going to be Io Sky. Um, and I say that because Io Sky is involved with Asuka and Rhea Ripley right now. She is getting the most attention. Stephanie Vaquer is not doing much at all. Io Sky has the most eyes on her between these two. I can see WWE seeing that and be like, okay, we're gonna put the title on Io. That way we can set up at Crown Jewel, maybe Io and Rhea versus Asuka and Kyrie. And then eventually we get to Io versus Rhea again in an actual one-on-one match for the women's world title. Or we end up getting Io versus Asuka. Those are very likely options. And then I can see Stephanie Vaquer maybe dropping to the women's IC title picture, having matches against like Lyra Valkyria, Bayley, Becky, whoever it may be. Um, I was want to say that Stephanie Vaquer versus AJ Lee match would be pretty good.
Yep.
But yeah, I think Io Sky's walking away as champion.
It's really interesting actually because I agree on everything and the booking of after this match. Everything apart from the who's the actual world champion. I totally. I think it's looking to be an EO versus Asuka feud going forward. I agree that no matter who the champion is, they'll be going on to face Rhea at Crown Jewel. The only difference being that I've gone for Stephanie to win here. I think what I will say, a lot of what you just said there, if Stephanie doesn't win, would be really intriguing as well. You brought up there, I was just think quiet until after the Stephanie AJ Lee match for the IC title. Yes, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Would absolutely love that, and I think that'd be an amazing feud. I've gone for Stephanie here. There's not really too much of a reason to be honest with you. I think I'm just this one's one of these ones where I'm just being incredibly biased because I really want to see Stephanie Vaquer win the title.
Yeah.
But I think I wouldn't be surprised if Io did win this. She's like, what's the best description? Is it Seth Rollins? Yeah, we'll go with Seth Rollins. She's the Seth Rollins right now of the world title picture. If there's a crisis, or John Moxley in AEW, there's maybe a good one. When there's a crisis, just stick on EO and everything will be fine, unless it's the Death Riders. Um, just
Yeah.
put it on EO and be fine because they know she's incredibly over. She's one of the best on the roster, and they don't have to worry about her. Sometimes they don't worry about her too much, like her last title reign, and they just forget she even exists. Um, they're like, oh, it's fine. We don't need a story for her because she'll go out and put on match of the year contenders. It's cool. Let's not do that again if it is. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did go kind of like, the papers all been torn up and we don't know what we're doing and they do put on EO. I think an interesting point as well that I thought about after my predictions earlier, as well as potential for Liv Morgan to factor into some places, just simply because I was actually quite shocked. I know we were both watching it live because we were sitting laughing about it together on text. But the announcement for WrestleMania on Saudi Arabia, I was quite surprised to see Liv Morgan there. She looks good, looked healthy. So I don't know when she's obviously fit to come back, but maybe something with Liv Morgan going forward, she could factor into the match. Who knows? Um, just over speculating now. But at the end of the day, I'm going to take Stephanie here. I think also from what I heard was that they'd been given Stephanie English lessons, which is something I think obviously they would want that anyway, but it would seem not pointless. That's what I mean. Like they'd want her to do them anyway, but it seemed like they would want to put her in a top position if they want her to work on her English for cutting the lights of promos and all that. It makes sense if it kind of goes hand in hand with putting her at the top of the division, giving her the title. So that kind of factors into it. I don't think that's a major factor. It's just something I thought about as well. So either way, I really don't particularly mind too much who wins this because both of them are amazing, and I'm very, very excited for the match.
Yeah. Um, you mentioned Io Sky being in like that Seth Rollins position. If we're like the comparison I made was somebody else in the women's division as well. Um, Io Sky is in that like Oscar position right now where things are rough. So let's put the title on Oscar. I think
Yeah.
Io Sky is in that same position at the moment,
Yep.
and I can see WWE just doing that. And the fact that Stephanie Vaquer had her first match on Raw this past Monday in weeks
That's ridiculous, by the way.
goes to show that they may not be taking her that seriously.
That's true.
And she's been doing fuck all these past few weeks. And that's not me going after Stephanie Vaquer
No,
because
no,
I
true.
absolutely love Stephanie Vaquer. I think she is one of the best women's wrestlers in the world. And she has the look. She's got it all. But it's the way that they're writing this and that they're
Yep.
booking Stephanie Vaquer that is just not good, and it's making me think that they're just gonna say, you know what, we can drop Stephanie to the
Yep.
mid card title, and we could just put the title on Io. That way, we could have Io and Rhea again, and this time have a clean finish.
Yep. I can totally. That's what I mean. Like a lot. What you said, it totally makes sense. Like, I could honestly see them thinking that way as well. I'm okay with it as long as what you said happens, and Stephanie goes for that IC belt because if they're just going to leave her backstage, then it's not even a case of like you get some of the NXT call ups and it's like it's not very good to just be left. But Stephanie's someone they've got who like you mentioned and I've mentioned in video, she's arguably one of the best women's. There's no just women's wrestlers. She's just one of the best wrestlers in the world, easily.
Yeah,
And to just have her sitting backstage, it's bad enough what they're doing with Julia right now. Um, so if they're just not going to use Stephanie, then Jesus Christ, I don't know what else I can say.
yeah. Um, moving on to a tag team match, one of two tag team matches on this card. The Usos, Jey Uso and Jimmy, will be taking on Division's Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker. This match, like we everybody saw coming. We knew it was like as soon as Jimmy Uso involved himself, we were like, okay, we're gonna get the Usos versus the Brons. Um, I so here's the thing with this match. I don't doubt that the Usos are one of the greatest tag teams of all time. I don't doubt that this might be a pretty solid match. But here's the thing, and this is me being very like nitpicky, I guess you can say with it. In like before main event Jey Uso was a thing and the Usos were still a tag team, they seemed very equal. There was, Jimmy and Jay, and they worked so good as a dynamic. They were, one of the best tag teams. Now, I don't know how that's going to work because Jay is more over than Jimmy. So now it has to be Jay that gets the hot tag and Jimmy takes the heat. Whereas before it was either of them could get the hot tag. But now it has to be Jay, and I don't know how that dynamic is gonna work anymore. And if they're still gonna click the same way they used to. So that's gonna be one thing to watch out for in this match is how the Usos work with this dynamic, with Jey Uso being more over. And that's not taking anything away from Jimmy Uso. That's just what WWE has given us. They gave us this main event Jey Uso gimmick, and now, and they barely gave Jimmy Uso anything. And so now this is a really weird dynamic of where one person is, more than the other, whereas before they were an equal. Um, in terms of the winner, though, I think that the Vision has to win this. I think that they need this win. Um, because if they lose this, you had Bronson Reed take a loss to Roman Reigns last time. And then if they lose this, it doesn't do any good for the Vision. I think that they have to win this.
Yeah, firstly, that is really an interesting point you've brought up with the Usos because I never even considered that. But you're absolutely right. The Usos are one of my favorite tag teams. They always have been. Yeah, I even enjoyed the Usos before they did the day one ish, which then was a bit of a hot take. I don't know. I just always found them entertaining. But once they turned heel, it was just boom straight to the top for me. So, and it's fun enough, and I'm not just being one of these people who's saying it because of the IWC, but I did always prefer Jimmy to Jay when they win. I agree. I think they were a lot more evenly matched, but I just kind of. I know it's really stupid, and I've outed myself before with this. The fact of saying I've watched all of Total Divas. I think it was just actually getting to see Jimmy on that, which made me fall in love with kind of him and his personality a bit more. But as
Yeah.
you said, in the ring, I think they were totally matched. Whereas now, I never even considered that. It's going to be very, very different. But maybe that plays into the storyline that they're kind of trying to tell currently on Raw with like basically Jay potentially becoming the next tribal chief. Maybe that is something that gets to his head, the power that gets to his head. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I think it's really interesting, but I totally agree with what you said in the fact the Vision have to win this. The issue is we've been saying that I think every damn pay per view since like they started, and they always lose. Which is so I said I made the joke in my video and said that they'll turn into Dark State, um, which is an awful comparison. But I agree, Vision have to win here because otherwise, what is the point in just anything at all? So I've taken the Vision. Um, I I don't see them recovering if they lose this one as well. I think another factor that does play into it with the Usos is obviously LA Knight in the background. Will he get involved? Who knows? Will he follow it with Jay? Who knows? So I think there's a lot of factors that are lined out with the ring that points to the Vision being able to get that victory.
Yeah. And I may be a minority in saying this. I'm not too sure. But I don't have any interest in seeing Jey Uso nor LA Knight being a heel.
No.
Um, and the Usos just got back together. I don't have any interest in them breaking up again. And if that's the route that they're gonna go, um, it's not good. It's not good at all. A route that I'd rather see is Jimmy and Jay turn heel together and go after LA Knight. That would be a little more interesting than just seeing Jay or LA Knight turning heel on their own. But yeah, in agreement with the tag team match. Before we get into the rest of the card, I do have to create a new meeting because we have 5 minutes left in this one. So I will be right back. All right, we are back. So yeah, in agreement with the Vision picking up the win. Hopefully that's the case for them. Another tag match that we have is a mixed tag team match. CM Punk and AJ Lee taking on Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. Ecstatic that AJ Lee is back. I am very happy to see her back in the WWE. She looks fantastic. Um, Obviously, I made the TikTok, stating what Becky Lynch stated on Raw, I believe it was, um, about AJ Lee's, health and her neck and how she's going to compete because really and truly, she hasn't been in that ring in 10 years and she hasn't really competed on the level that Becky Lynch and these women are competing at. That's not me doubting her in any way. I think AJ Lee is still fantastic. Um, but it's going to be very interesting to see how she wrestles in the ring, and how she moves and how she holds up. And that's obviously the biggest story going to this match. And other than that, it should be a pretty solid match. This is fun. And like obviously no titles are on the line, but in like rare instances, every now and then that's okay. And it's okay just to have a showcase match with big names like this. Um so yeah, I'm perfectly fine with this match. I think this match should be a lot of fun. There should be some cool spots in it. In terms of the winners, I think CM Punk and AJ Lee have to win this, and probably with AJ Lee pinning Becky Lynch so she can get a shot at the Women's Intercontinental Championship. And yeah, that's really all I have to say about this one. It should be fun, and I think Punk and AJ will win.
Yeah, once again, totally agree with that. Very, very excited to see AJ back. I think I know you also mentioned there the kind of concern around her health and that. I said I hope she's all good. But looking at that bump she took from Becky on Monday, I'm going to assume she's all good. I forgot how good a seller AJ Lee was
Yeah.
until she took that bump the other day. It was incredible. But yeah, I agree. I just off the bat that I think it's going to be a lot more straightforward than some of the convoluted ideas I try to come up with. I think it will just be Punk and AJ to win. We're both, I believe, probably in agreement. The fact that I think AJ is going to go obviously forward to fight Becky for the Intercontinental title at some point. Um, but I did mention in my video on TikTok that I do believe there would be some stock in Becky pinning AJ Lee here and they pick up the win. It would give some well deserved heat to the Vision, something that they could do with. It would be a shock. So I do think there's stock there. However, this is one of the few times where I think just the simpler method is better. I think just straight up victory, AJ Punk, nice feel good victory, big moment. Don't overcomplicate it. Just go out there, have a fun match, have a showcase, and that'll be it. We'll move on to the next story from there. So, in agreement, I'm taking Punk and AJ to win.
Am I wrong in hoping that Punk gives Becky a GTS here?
It seems like that's the way it's going. I mean, Becky has been known out of the mixed tag matches be the one to take the finishing move from the man. We've seen that with Baron Corbin last time. So I honestly wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah. Unless like Seth goes for a suicide dive on Punk and accidentally hits Becky or something like that.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, but I don't know. I think that pop would be insane if Punk actually hits a GTS on
I
Becky.
know.
Because they keep chanting for it every single week to the point where I think WWE is going to be like, you know what, we can spare it for this one. Because like you mentioned, Baron Corbin at the end of days
Yep.
on Becky Lynch before. Um, so it's very possible, but then again, it's a heel thing to do. So I don't know if he will. It would still be cool though. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I think so.
yeah. So you're taking Punk and AJ?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, in agreement for that. The last match we have to get into is the undisputed WWE Championship match between Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre. Obviously, this has just been Drew carrying this entire feud because Cody Rhodes has been away filming Street Fighter, and he just had a kid as well. So I'll give him, the benefit of the doubt in that. That's not his fault. Well,
Well,
well, we'll leave that technically, but congratulations to Cody Rhodes nonetheless.
I hope it's
Um,
his fault.
um, yeah, that would be bad if it wasn't his fault. Either way, this should be a fun match. Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre are two very talented individuals. Um, this is just going to be as simple as Cody Rhodes retains, though. Um, I don't see the feud ending here, though. I think there's going to be some shenanigans at the end of this. I think that maybe we get a ref bump. Um, and Drew has the match won, but there's no referee, and then Cody capitalizes, or maybe Randy Orton comes out and costs Drew, hits an RKO on Drew, and then they set up a rematch where Cody will probably win as well. Um, yeah, I can see them carrying this feud out for like a couple months. Hell, maybe they carry it out until the Rumble. I don't know if I'd
Yep.
like to see them carry out that long, but um, it's possible. Yeah, I think Cody Rhodes is just gonna retain here.
Yeah, total agreement. As much as I would absolutely love Drew McIntyre to win, obviously, totally no bias here. As much as I would love that, I think it is quite straightforward. Should be a really fun match. I think it will just be Cody retaining. But I totally agree. I think it will be down to, as you said, probably a ref bump. And I think Randy Orton's going to get involved. And I think it's going to be Randy that caused Drew. But Cody being Cody, I think the story going forward is that that's going to upset Cody. He's not going to like that. He's going to be like, why did you help me? I didn't need the help. Down the line, that maybe puts a bit of tension between Randy and Cody. I guess kind of similar to last year that we've seen with Randy and Kevin. Not Randy and Kevin, sorry. Cody and Kevin. And then down the line, we're going to get that triple threat match. I believe we're going to get it. And I do believe the end goal here is going to be Cody and Randy. The kind of the legacy story that I do believe they're wanting to tell. And I also firmly believe at the minute that there is a punt kick that has Cody's name written all over it in the next near future for him. So yeah, for this one right now though, taking Cody should be a simple retain. Should be a good match as well. Oh no, we've lost Josh unless he's on mute. Oh no, guys, I don't know how to carry the podcast myself. Oh god, do we have a Josh? Well, whilst Josh was away, I guess I can continue saying yeah. So I do think WrestleMania going forward, we're going to get Randy and Cody. I think it's a story that WWE want to tell. Obviously, the old legacy members, Randy being Kevin. My God, I keep getting mixed up. Cody's mentor. I think that's a already built story to go. I think the issue though is turning Randy heel at this stage. I don't think people necessarily want to boo him, and even if he is heel, I don't think they will. However, it's a storyline going forward that I do see them going with. Um, is that Randy Kevin feud? Oh my God, I keep calling Cody Kevin. That Randy Cody feud. Yeah, I can see Cody holding on to this belt for quite a while now, and then we'll have to just wait and see if we do get a return of Josh. See, I don't know if he's going to mute. I don't know if he can hear me when he's on mute as well.
My mic
Ah,
was
yeah.
muted.
I thought so. Can you hear me when you're mute when you
No, I
go mute?
cannot.
Right. Okay. That explains that thing.
Oh, is that what happened? Okay.
Yeah, because I was like being like, I think he's muted.
Okay. Wait, so what was the last thing you heard me say?
No, so last thing was me speaking, and then I finished, and there was
Oh, okay.
no response from Josh, so I assumed as much.
Oh, okay. So I was muted. So did you not hear my point about Cody Rhodes and the heel turn?
Nope.
Okay. Um, I apologize for that, ladies and gentlemen. I was explaining to Rue at the start of this that my microphone has a very sensitive mute button. So like any little thing that touches it, it'll mute it. Um, yeah, I am so sorry about that. I was so confused on what was happening. I was like, what is going on?
You just hear me awkwardly trying to explain the plans for Randy and Cody going forward.
Um, okay, so as I was saying, oh my goodness, and I was starting to go through the intro, the outro, and everything. Oh my god. Okay. So a lot of people, like I was saying, are thinking that we're gonna get Homelander Cody, and that we're going to get a heel turn from Cody Rhodes. I don't think that this man is turning heel anytime soon. I think that they really want him to be, despite him getting booed sometimes. I think that they're really just building him as the John Cena of this era. And like Rue said, um, Randy Orton might be the one to turn heel, but then again, nobody wants to boo the guy. Um, so it's a very like tricky situation there if they go that route, which I'm pretty sure they will. But then again, it's Randy Orton, right? The guy RKO's everybody, taunts everybody. That's just Randy.
Yeah, it's funny. I'm glad you said that. It lines up with what I said. It's cool, but yeah, I agree. Like I think coming up to SummerSlam, if they were going to turn Cody heel, I think it would have been at SummerSlam. Um, but they haven't, so I don't think he is going heel anytime soon. I totally agree. I think he really does just have the John Cena effect now. Too many kids love him, and he sells so much merch for them, and he's that face that they want of the company. Um, doesn't that mean he's ever going to turn heel? I don't think so. I think they've learned from the mistake from John Cena and waiting. However, I think it will be quite a while now before Cody even sniffs a heel turn.
Um, so that is Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre. I apologize, everybody, for my microphone issues. Completely on me. I was so confused as to what was going on. I was like, can he hear me? Can like what's going on? Um, yeah. So that's Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre for the undisputed WWE Championship. We're both in agreement for Cody Rhodes retaining in some shape or form. And another point I was going to bring out is Cody Rhodes retaining is the main is what we're I'm gonna like very I'm looking for the word um is what I'm gonna pinpoint, not pin Drew McIntyre, not submit him. It's very possible that Drew wins by disqualification and Cody still
Oh,
retains.
yes. I think actually, yes. That's a very, very good way to look at it and a good way for maybe to do it.
But yeah, let us know what you guys think. I always love hearing you guys' opinions. Like I mentioned in the start, there's a plethora of different ways. You can let me know your opinion. You can let me know in the comment section on YouTube if you're listening on YouTube. You can let me know on Spotify as well if you're listening over there. You can also let me know on the Kayfabe Central Ko-Fi page. It's $5 minimum for the exclusive wrestling content tier. You can join up the Discord server. That's all linked down below. You can join my TikTok lives. Like I mentioned, I'm live almost every day except for Thursday. And I won't be live this Saturday for the pay-per-views because I will be at AEW All Out in person. So won't be able to stream that one. But yeah, you can let me know your thoughts and TikTok live chat, whatever it may be. So go check out the TikTok and go check out the Kayfabe Central website. I have a group community section there as well. All my coverage posts, articles, written predictions, all that good stuff are all over on the Kayfabe Central website. So go ahead and check those out. Go check out Rule and Wrestling on TikTok as well. Go check out our other partner, Stu World Order, on TikTok as well. They both make amazing content and really worth the watch. So go ahead and give them a follow. But yeah, with that being said, I am going to wrap this up and figure a different way to hold my mic. Apparently, so I'm gonna go figure that out. Hopefully, didn't mess up the audio too much. But I'll probably listen to it back at some point towards the end. But yeah, I've been your host, Josh, and I will see you guys on the next one. Take it easy.